What's up, guys? It's time for the new tier list in All-Star Tower Defense X for update 2. Let's get it popping. Before we do, guys, we are on the road to 1 million subscribers, and when we get there, we're gonna be giving away 1 million Robux. If you guys want to be a part of that and win some Robux, make sure you guys are subscribed and drop a like on the video. Also, as a bonus, if this video gets to 2K likes before the next update drops, I'm gonna give somebody in the comments down below a new summer update bundle. This one even comes with an exclusive skin, so if you guys want that, drop a like on the video. Let's get it. All right, let's start off with the OG tier list by the stat team. Now, they said they're not gonna be able to get their version of the tier list out for a little bit, but I will also make sure you guys know their comments as well as we get it popping. All right, guys, so first up, our boy Ace, he got a really nice buff. So you're not gonna see this on the stat cards, but you're gonna know that his DPS is already very high. In fact, whenever I tested, his DPS seems higher than even Sukuna. And he's also a very great shield break, especially if you have the corrupted trait. So factoring all that in, they also buffed his AoE size. And according to even the devs, I'll show you guys what they have to say for the tier list team. He basically said that Ace's buff makes him even more fantastic. All right, apparently he's on par with Ulquiorra and better than Zeke. So that means Ace, guys, is easily going over on top of Ulquiorra, like the man said. So Ace, guys, is apparently now one of the more go-to units. His AoE's actually good. So that's pretty sick. Make sure you guys get a hold of him. He's also good for the dev trial as well, if you guys want to get those 1,000 gems and that emote. All right, next up, we'll go over some of the lamer units. We have Gon and Killua. So I got this tag team. It's actually a green tag team, which is not too bad. And it also has stun as well. So I'm going to put this at the top of B tier, guys. This is going to be your top tag team unit. If you're a new player, this is not a bad way to go at all. All right, next up, we have the other 4-star. We have Asta. Now, Asta is pretty cool. His damage isn't the craziest, but he's really good, again, for that dev trial. And look at this, guys. So I was watching Toadboy's showcase of him. Shout out to Toadboy Gaming. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. We're trying to get him to 150k subs. He's a goat and an OG. And look at this AoE, guys. This is some crazy looking AoE, man. I like it though. I ain't gonna cap. This is pretty cool. I like that they're adding in more unique stuff to the game. And based on all that alone, I'm gonna put it here. All right, where's my boy Deodara? I'm moving this guy out. Whoever put this in the list is killing me, man. I'm gonna readjust that one. They put him in the B tier. I'll talk about Deodara right now. Deodara is my goat. Now, that may be a little bit biased because I got All-Star on mine, but I'm not gonna lie. I use this unit to get the insane amount of damage. This is basically a full AoE unit with crazy DPS. So I'm not gonna lie, guys. In my opinion, Deodara has terrible range though. So I'm putting Deodara him in the meta tier. I like him a lot, but I am a little bit biased, so keep that in mind. All right, next up we have Shark Ninja. Now my notes on him, he's a blue unit. He has an okay cone AoE, which could be nice. Cone AoE was the OG, guys. Rectangle AoE wasn't even in OG ASTD. However, he's more of a collectible unit. So I'm gonna throw him in B. Honestly, he's not that bad. I'm gonna throw him. He probably deserves to be like, I'd say like low A tier. Like, he's not that bad. They're just better units, man. Also, I gotta move this guy out. I don't know why this guy's here. Why? Bro, this tier is kind of weird. I'm gonna move this guy. I'm gonna copy this guy over. I have some things to say about some of these placements here. All right, we're gonna talk about this guy a little bit as well. You know what? I'm just gonna say he's a decent shield breaker. His DPS isn't the craziest, but he's a decent shield breaker. Keep that in mind. I think that kind of covers it. Next up, we have Alligator. Now, Alligator's actually really goated. And honestly, even the the guy thinks that. He's telling me that Crocodile Alligator looks to be very good for progressive, miles better than any other orange unit. So he can't really say for infinite because of the small AoE, but he's saying basically if you guys are doing progressive modes, he's basically a better Frieren. So I'm gonna put him ahead of Frieren. He doesn't have the bleed though that Sukuna has, but yeah, basically apparently he's a better Frieren in general. However, for infinite mode, you guys you know, but honestly, I guess Frieren does have a slightly bigger AoE. But in general, he's going to have a higher DPS. I kind of like higher DPS better than AoE in general, so I'm going to give him the edge. All right, next up we have Gayu. Now, Gayu is a really nice DPS, very big AoE, so that's going to give him the edge in infinite mode. I kind of like him a lot, actually. Honestly, in my opinion, he's a lot like Mihawk. So I'm going to put him right above Mihawk. He's like Mihawk level range, but a way thicker AoE, so I'm going to put him right there. However, he is a collectible unit, so keep that in mind. Mercury Guardian starts off as full AoE as kind of like a budget Whitebeard, I want to say. But then just ends up with a really low range, etc. So I'm going to put Mercury Guardian down here. Really just terrible range. Really not liking that. So that's another problem with Shark Ninja. Really terrible range. All right, next up we have Killua. This guy is full AoE and stun. This guy is an absolute beast. And if we take a look, Killua is fantastic for progressive, pretty solid for infinite mode. Full AoE and very low SBA. Does have a limit of 35 enemies attacks, so that hurts, and I'm pretty sure shock conflicts with TS. So I think this is 35 enemies per hit. I'm not sure exactly what this 35 enemies attacks means. So you guys can let me know on that one. Because I'm not entirely sure what that means. You guys can let me know a little bit more about what that means. But factoring all that in, I'm gonna be honest, pretty dang good. If you have a lot of money, you can maybe buy, resell him. I think he's up there if you like the stun, though. I don't know how that affects time stop. So I'm gonna put him, he's gonna go in the support tier. I probably put him right about here for support tier. And I'm gonna put him up, I'll put him up here above Zeke for DPS. I definitely think he's gonna be a very good DPS unit overall. All right, lastly, we have Chrollo. Now, what makes Chrollo very special, guys, is he is a regen counter. He has the poison status effect. And what that does is it counteracts regen by 40%, if I remember correctly, making him meta for almost every mode that has a big regen. Now, he loses that on his later upgrades, but yeah. For that alone, his regen effects honestly puts him as one of the better support units. He's kind of situational, but he definitely deserves to be in the support tier. Now, he also has a nuke ability as well. Now, you really want to combine his nuke ability with like time stops, etc. to maximize it. But with his nuke ability, he's doing like 400k, but apparently it doesn't apply to bosses, which is a bit annoying. But honestly, factoring all that in, he's definitely going in the meta tier. I'm going to put him slightly below Esdeath. I don't think his DPS is the craziest, and him not hitting bosses that hard is a little bit annoying. However, I will say what this does mean, though, is if you guys are in infinite mode, I definitely recommend it. Also, he does have a global cooldown, so you can only bring one. So if you guys are in infinite mode, I definitely recommend having one Chrollo, or you are cooked. So make sure you guys do that. He's going to be leaderboard meta. Now, I will say one thing I don't like about the game is how OP they made the boundless units in the banner. If you guys take a look at the odds and you do the math, it's a little bit ridiculous to expect players to be able to get those, attain those units. Now, I will say I have had a decent amount of gems. I spent 100,000 gems so far, still no luck on the secrets. I just kind of think they're a little bit ridiculous, and I will say the potions that you can buy from the shop do not help at all. I believe this is only like a 25% buff. So instead of 500k gems, you have to spend like 400, or I guess it's more like 450. And I don't even think there's a secret pity as well. So that's kind of annoying. And even the shiny boosters, etc. aren't the greatest. So I do wish they would make some of the boundless units a little bit like the banner units, especially not as OP and like required. Because I definitely feel like Spider Boss is going to be required soon for certain modes. Just because if I remember correctly, he's the only poison unit in the game that has that regen counteracting. All right, anyways, let me know what you guys think about the tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe. We're on the road to 1 million, baby.